in our session. Today we'll be covering on a report, things to do with assessment of gender-based violence in the society. And this report is courtesy of Uzalendo Africa Religious and Cultural Center that will be presenting it to the commissioner. So before we begin our session, I'd like to take you through our agenda. The first one, as I'm doing currently, we're going to cover on the opening remarks. Then the second agenda will be on we're going to discuss on the scope of the report. The third one, we're going to navigate through the findings that this research or this report has come up with. Then the fourth agenda will be mainly on the recommendations. Those are measures just to counter the findings and the existing problems that we have identified in respect to gender-based violence in the society. Then before we wind up, we'll cover on the conclusions and also close it with closing remarks. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Will be over to you.
I appreciate my classmate whom we are representing the report together with Ibrahim. Okay. My name is Hosea Jibril Adam, a student at ZTech University doing Bachelor in International Relations and Diplomacy. We are here to discuss on the report about the gender-based violence. About the gender-based violence, and the project itself is assessment about the gender-based violence that the commission is submitted to the Commission of Uzalendo Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, Fausia. Thank you so much. Now, just to take you through the overview of the entire report, things to do with gender-based violence. Actually, gender-based violence, if we were to look at it, we can just speak it as the global crisis currently that violates all aspects of human rights. It ranges from the sexual, emotional, physical, psychological, social, economic abuse, and even the adverse cultural beliefs and practices that we normally set the center stage of the GBV. When we talk about GBV, we normally refer to gender-based violence. In a nutshell, this report will navigate through the root cause. We are going to look at the findings as we have covered it on our agenda. We are going to report the trends, check on the social impact, and also the strategic ways in preventing as part of the recommendations and coming up with conclusion just to see this loophole in our society. Thank you.
Okay. To add to what Ibrahim has been discussing, we're going to also discuss about the gender biasness and the gender biasness trend and the recognition of the unemployment. And as well, we're going to discuss about the underreporting of the gender-based violence. The gender-based violence is always there, it has been happening to our community, but people are not opening up about it. So we are encouraging our people to report. So we have to discuss and show it out there that people need to report the gender-based violence when it happens to anybody, because it can happen to anyone in the community.
Thank you so much. Another aspect that comes through my mind when we just look at the findings, we see that us living in this African community setup, different societies and communities have their background beliefs and cultural practices. But have we explored them fully just to check? Because I believe that gender-based violence dominates and highly resides in our culture in different aspects. We can identify different things that normally violate this human rights aspect in relation to gender-based violence. We have some traditions and cultures which are deeply enshrined in some cultural beliefs, whereby in case of violation, it can lead to penalization that normally call for actually things like to do cultural cleansing rituals, and mostly identify that you can see. It has always hit all headlines and different media platforms is the aspect of female genital mutilation. Actually, female genital mutilation is one of the examples of gender-based violence that highly live in the cultural beliefs and traditions. Then you have another thing, things to do with forced marriages. Have we ever thought of it? Actually, it exists.
Yes.
It's something that we can't do away with.
Yes.
Different communities and societies, they normally embrace it as a way that they think they're doing the right thing. But literally, they're exposing those minors to different violence in respect to emotional abuse, things to do with like gender discrimination, even in our inheritance. In as much as our government is busy trying to reform the Succession Act in respect to inheritance, still we can see that based on the research and statistics that has been conducted countrywide, you can see that less than 5% of the female gender they own properties. Something that it needs to be looked into, and also we have to look for measures. Even the government at least recommend measures on how they are going to address that issue and come up with solution so that that issue cannot exist at all. Maybe if you are to look at another aspect, what other finding do you think that you can just add it so that at least we add more value to this report?
Okay, as you can say, people might think gender-based violence is only affecting the women,
Yes.
but also in the community it is affecting the boy child as well, because they are neglected in a way. People are concentrating more about the girl child. You understand?
Yes.
They concentrate about the girl child to neglect the boy child.
Yes.
Where we need to come out in large number to speak for the girl child.
Yes.
Also for them, for their voice to be heard as well.
Okay.
Like the ones that we are also talking about, the girls, it's now reaching worldwide. People are taking it, but they don't see maybe the boy child is also suffering the same. So we need to be their voice as well. Yes.
Very true. Indeed it is. The discrimination, the things to do with, actually, if we were to look at the world right now, there's a hyped version of the boy child and the girl child aspect, whereby things to do with favorism, they do apply. Okay, just to add on what we have just discussed, another finding that we can just have a look at it, is things to do with the socio-economic violence. We understand that, as we have discussed earlier, the cultural beliefs, the tradition in different aspects, which actually they are deeply rooted in our tradition and customary practices. But then again, if you were to look at it on economic empowerment aspects, I feel that there's some sort of biasness. Whereby one gender currently it has been hyped and given actually a lot of limelight in terms of being empowered economically. Then the other aspect is whereby you also look at the other side of the coin. One gender can be in a position whereby it is being discriminated on different avenues, like job areas in their societies, and even in the surroundings that they exist. If we were to look at our African setups and look at the cultural aspect of it, you might find that a lady or the female gender it has been exposed to so many violations, even that they tend to lack a voice in the society, and they have been subjected to be subservient of whatever outcome that comes from the other dominating gender. So the balance of gender equality, in a way, it has really been affected through this kind of violation, the social economic violation.
And to add on that, we need to raise about education and awareness as well. They launch preventative education awareness and sensitization to community as well as a way of breaking gender-based violence. SACO. The targeted initiative will challenge the biasness and toxic social norms. in the community as well, and to build capacity for the initiative, for the people to take that initiative.
Yes.
As a state officers in the arresting and determining violence.
Yes.
Yes.
True. Indeed it is.
Yes.
Indeed it is, yeah. Then another thing, maybe as part of the measures that we are going to mitigate some of the findings that we have identified,
Yes.
we look like things to do with, there is a need for establishing survivor support services. Yeah. So different actors, we believe that they contribute largely in the prevention, reporting, and all aspects. Things to do with gender-based violence. Whereby the government and institutions like the NGO, the human rights group, they need to create and establish safe space whereby victims, survivors can go vent, express their grievances, even the need for emergency shelters in case for communities that, let's say, they have decided to send off a girl, without the consent. That girl can just run to that shelter and be rescued. Then another thing is things to do with free medical care, counseling. Remember, GBV does not only affect you physically,
it can affect
psychologically as well. Now there's need for counseling services for these GBV survivors, as a measure of healing them and also ensuring their quick recovery before they're being integrated back into the society. So GBV trauma really traumatized.
It can take time, people can take time to heal, but it is good when it is treated
at the early stage.
At the early stage.
Very true. Maybe another recommendation that maybe you can add. Do you find another recommendation?
And then about the network referrals, they need to strengthen it up. If maybe there's an existing referrals that is already there, instead of maybe looking for new establishment, they need to strengthen the one that are already existing. They think that we're talking about the shelter. Maybe if there's an existing shelter that was already there, it needs to be strengthened up at least. People can get it rescued.
So I think there's need actually for these referrals, at least they come up in a sort of a pool whereby each player they contribute in one or the other in a form of like a relay. That one is in order. Maybe when we navigate the world currently, we can see that there are different technological emergencies that normally impact our societies in one way or the other. One of it is the digital literacy, and the reporting awareness. We can see there are different forms of communication handles that exist in our societies. But this one begs one question. Does the community really embrace them?
They don't.
Okay. Now then there's a need.
That's a big challenge.
Yes. That's a challenge, and also there's a need for the community plus the society, in a way that can be sensitized the digital literacy aspect, such that they embrace technology and use it.
They are aware of the digital literacy. They need to be educated.
Very true. So that they embrace technology and use it as a reporting platform. Or line for this GBV.
And if they learn it is really helpful for them.
Because we have seen in different social media platforms, we have different handles, like hashtag Wacha Sare Noma, report. So those are things that if we can educate and be able to sensitize the community, they'll be able at least to embrace it and fully report. Whereby
they
the
can
turnaround time
themselves first before they can reach to the authority. By maybe spreading it, the news itself can be spread before even it reaches to the authority.
Very true. Very true. I think we have exhausted enough in terms of the findings, in terms of the recommendation measures that we are going to put through
Yes.
just to mitigate this demon in our society.
That's for gender-based violence.
Yes, gender-based violence. Just to look at the conclusion, yeah?
Mhm.
In as much as gender-based violence is challenging the human rights, the public health, yeah,
Yes.
and development crisis in a modern day world, yeah.
Both poses the consequences of gender inequalities as well.
Yes. Now the aspect of gender equality, the one that you have mentioned, yeah,
Mhm.
that forms the foundation of
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
But then again, we have explored the recommendations
Mhm.
and we have looked at the measures on how this thing can be tamed.
Yes.
It is, yeah, in our best interest that we are going to present this report in terms of how we have assessed gender-based violence, something that is going to add value in our community, and also whatever that has been practicing or going on for quite some time, yeah, at least can be brought to stop.
And I hope we're really going to achieve a society free from gender-based violence
Yes.
in future.
Yeah, that's our prayer.
Yes.
Thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you. I appreciate.
Most welcome. Thank you.